second, in this session or this segment, we will be talking about the 39th round of Cairo International Film Festival, which kicked off on the 21st of this month. Actually, this festival is unique. The ceremony was held in the premises of New Cairo, and the session is dedicated to the great actress and singer Shadia. We have many important honored figures, including, of course, some of the late film critics, in addition, of course, to the participation of a multitude of international films, including that of the Arab films and the Arab competition with the Tunisian film and more. And we will be talking about the details of it with the film critic, Dr. Sherif Awad. Good afternoon, Doctor,
Hello.
and welcome with us.
Welcome.
Thank you very much for being with us
Thank
today on my cruise. If we can start by speaking more about the leading film, or the first film that was screened in the inauguration ceremony on Tuesday, as Rasha said, which is The Mountain Between Us, which is directed by Hani Abu Asad, the Palestinian director, and starring Kate Winslet and Idris Elba. How did you think about such a choice for the first film?
First of all, the film is very important because it's produced by a major studio in Hollywood and starring A-list star like Kate Winslet, and everybody loves her since Titanic. Idris Elba is, you know, a British-born actor, but he's also from African descent. And the importance of this film is not only the subject matter, you know, which seemed like a leading actor from African descent with a major star like Kate Winslet, an Academy Award winner, because it's directed by Hani Abu Asad, who is a Palestinian director, who was given a big budget to do this film with major star, and it's not a film you know, related to the Arabs or Palestinian. So it is an opportunity for him to direct, like, can we say, a Western related subject. And Hani Abu Asad was frequent to the States and to important festivals like Cannes and Berlin, because one of his debuts was Paradise Now, a very important film about the Palestinian cause. And I think it's a very important move for Arab directors to helm such big budget films, you know. Hani Abu Asad also is invited not only as the director of the opening film, but as one of the juries in the festivals. But I want to say that basically a certain negative things happens like every year in the opening ceremony. Like after the opening ceremony, usually most of the invitees leave without seeing the film. And this is because, you know, later on there is a reception or a dinner party, something like that. And I think the festival should think about this, you know, because every year the opening film, nobody watch it. Usually in Cannes Festival, when we go to Cannes Festival in Berlin, they screen the opening film one day before the opening for the press, okay? It's a press screening with the accreditation. And later on they do a reply of the film the following day. In other Egyptian festival like in Aswan, in Luxor, I worked in many of them, and they did a very good idea. They screened the film the following day in the cinema, not during the opening ceremony, because everybody is busy thinking about the reception, the dinner, about meeting people. Some people are tired arriving late, you know, they cannot withstand to watch a movie late at night. So I think the festival should rethink about that, about the opening film, because a big director like Hani Abu Asad, you know, as reported in the Egyptian media, was very upset because nobody was interested to see his film. So this is about the opening film, and I hope the festival because we are today the third day. Think of making another screening for the film for the people to discover it.
Yes.
Now, for the Arab films, and there is a special section for it as part of the film festival itself. It's interesting that we have around 8 countries participating, and unfortunately no Egyptian film is taking part in that. So would you comment to us on both aspects, the aspects of the lack of an Egyptian film, and which films do you feel, of course you've talked about the Palestinian film, needs to be looked at with special care?
Well, The Mountain Between Us is an American film.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about the
It's
Arab,
only a Palestinian
the
director.
Arab, yeah, no,
The
yeah.
Arab section.
But I know that there is a Syrian, Palestinian, and Tunisian films.
Yes.
Not the Mountain Between Us.
Of course.
Yeah.
Well, this year the festival, you know, when the late film critic Samir Farid handled the festival for 1 year,
Yes.
he started what he called parallel sections.
Yes.
4 years ago, and one of these sections is the Arab section, the prospects of Arab cinema.
Yes.
And this section supposedly it used to be organized by the Egyptian Film Syndicate here. For the last 3 years, the syndicate used to organize it in collaboration with the festival.
Yes.
And Samir Farid wanted by this parallel section that many organizations working in cinema come and collaborate with Cairo Festival.
Yes.
So he created 3 parallel sections: the prospect of Arab cinema and the Critics Week, you know, similar like the Critics Week in Cannes, and also the competition, and it used to be organized with the Film Institute here and the Academy of Arts. Past 3 years, this year the festival, you know, decided to take over all of these parallel section and to internally organizing them.
I think it's called Arab Film Competition, isn't it?
So it was a competition parallel to the festival. So the festival organized everything. He doesn't want to collaborate with other people. Okay, that's their decision, you know. So this is what happens in Egypt when, you know, someone takes over a festival and he's replaced. Everybody comes and
yes,
you
so
know,
what is different,
and
as
crumble
you said,
everything.
Yes,
Yeah.
what is different between this edition of the Cairo Film Festival, the 39th edition, and the previous editions, in your opinion?
Yes, this year, you want to say what's special about the edition?
Yes.
This is the question.
What's special?
Yes,
What's different? What's new?
What's new? Okay, I will answer first the question
Yes.
about the prospect of Arab cinema and Egyptian
and-
cinema.
and
why
so-
there is no Egyptian films?
Yes.
There are Egyptian films, but they don't want to participate in Cairo Festival.
Is it because they want to go internationally, like to Dubai and
There are
other?
2 types of films. You remember last year we had a film called El Barr Tani, The Other Side.
Yes.
And it spoke about a very important subject, the clandestine immigration, using, you know, the boats in the Mediterranean Sea, and the people who dies while trying to cross the sea from the Egyptian or the Libyan shores or
Illegal
the
migration.
Moroccan shores, you know, the south side of the Mediterranean to the north side of the Mediterranean. Last year, this film was heavily attacked by the press.
Yes.
And they saying, well, the producer spent a lot of money to promote it during Cairo Festival, and it wasn't that good. And then the film afterwards didn't make good money at the box office. So the Egyptian producers are afraid right now of participating in Cairo Festival and then getting a very bad word of mouth, and then their film bombed at the box office. So this is one reason. The other reason with the quality films, there are films that get funds from other Arab or European countries. And you know, the basic condition of the fund is to premiere the film in the country of the fund.
Okay.
Hence, we have Dubai Festival coming up in December. You will see plenty of Egyptian and Arab films there, premiering there. They cannot premiere in other festival as a Middle Eastern premiere before it. So this is the second reason there are no Egyptian films.
Now, Doctor, returning back to the part of the Arab films, the ones I meant by the
Yes.
Palestinian one is the one Ghost Hunting.
Yes.
The film Ghost Hunting. And we have Morocco also with Sweet Train. So how do you see these films?
Well, I haven't seen them yet,
Or
but
have you
I've
heard
seen
about
a
them?
film also participating in the festival with a great actress, Hayam Abbas, called Insiriated. And this film is an Arab-European co-production, and it speaks about the current situation.
Yes.
And I invite people to try to discover it because it's a very important film. And I want to mention that in Alexandria Festival and in Cairo Festival, you will note the Syrian representation is very strong, and the film production in Syria is going on. The film center is working, and they're producing a lot of good films every year.
Yes, the Cairo International Film Festival in the 39th edition is honoring Shadia and Fatin Habama.
Yes.
How do you see such two great actresses in the history of the Egyptian cinema and such a move by the festival?
Well, first of all, Shadia, you know, she has retired from artistic practice a long time ago, and even before she had these health problems. And I think it was time for the festival to think of her, because she had recently some health issues and she went to the hospital. And I think the festival should think of people, you know, who from her generation and the generations after her who are still with us, you know, and to try to give them tributes. And myself, I don't think the tribute is only by putting her photo on the poster or in the catalog of the festival. I think the good tribute is to make a special program about her films, to screen them for the younger generation to discover them on bigger screen.
Yes.
And also to restore the old negatives of classic cinema, because Shadia, you know, started, you know, in the black and white era, you know, 50 years ago. She has plenty of things, and she did everything. She did musical, she did drama, she did comedy, she did everything, action, you name it. So I think our tribute for her is to restore her arts to be rediscovered by the future generation. As for Fatin Hamama, of course, we have lost her a year or 2 years ago. The festival has given her a poster last year, and I think they are giving this year a trophy by her name. Fatin Hamama is, you know, deservedly received the name of the Lady of Arab Screen, and also she was the same generation as Shadia, but she started as a young child with Muhammad Abdul Wahab. And I think the most important thing for us is to make some focus and books about their art, screen their films again, restore their negatives, make books about them, try to screen their films in different languages, you know, across our embassy. This is the best tribute I can think of such people who have given their lives for us.
Yes.
Well, Doctor, returning to the main competition, what are the interesting films from your point of view? And I'm interested in Tunisia's film Tunis by Night, but I don't know if you've seen it or heard about it, that you can talk to us about it.
I have not seen it, but I want to tell you there is an important film. I noticed the festival has screened it by Fathi Akin. He's a Turkish-German filmmaker, and it has a very contemporary subject about terrorism. And The subject is about a lady who loses her son and husband in a terrorist attack in Germany, and on her own she's trying to find out the people behind the terrorist attack. And for the first time, of course, Fatih Akin comes from a Turkish Islamic background. The terrorists in the film are not Islamists.
Yeah.
You know, like we see all the time in Western and American film, they are neo-Nazis. So, the film was acclaimed in Cannes Festival and got the Best Actress award. And I think this is one of the most important films that we try to discover in Cairo Festival.
Yes.
Yes, what about the first 3 days of the festival? How did you see the artistic production in the past 3 days, or the past 2 days to be specific, and the upcoming days until the end of the month, till the 30th of November? What are the movies that we should be looking up to?
I think the festival did a good job, but trying to find screens outside of the Opera House, because people missed going to the festival a long time ago. Myself, when I was a student, I used to go to the festival in downtown cinemas or Heliopolis. When I find a film that I would like to see there, you know, I used to take buses and taxis and try to see the film, because